Welcome to the Manuchehri podcast. Over the last 30 years, it has been my joy to assist humanity in aligning with their magnificence so they may heal, discover their natural gifts, and communicate with loved ones living on the other side. May you also experience delight while we dance in the powerful, intuitive world of energy. Let's get going. Hello, and welcome to my podcast. Before we go to the voicemails and I listen to questions, I thought I'd talk a little bit more about why it's critical or really important, whatever words you want to use, for you to know yourself well, to feel your energy, to have an awareness of what you sense inside of you, to have a multisensory perception of the world around you, of yourself, of interactions, of life, which requires having personal interest in yourself and really getting to know you. So here's the main reason why, although it's just really healthy and good for you. The universe is unconditional in the way that it loves you. And the strongest law in all of the universes is free will. So when you have a desire and you have a plan, and if you don't know yourself very well, and you're choosing something that's perhaps in a lower frequency than what you truly desire, what you truly deserve, what's in your best interest, the universe is not going to yell at you and go, "Don't choose that one." It's not going to say that to you. Because the universe knows that no matter what you choose, you're going to be on a path and you're going to have an experience and there's going to be an outcome and you're going to grow from it or not, or you'll grow from it later in a previous lifetime or when you get to the other side. So the universe is never going to say to you, don't do that. And whenever you hear that or feel that within your body, that is not your intuition. That is not the universe communicating to you. That's fear. That's your ego screaming at you at the top of its lungs, trying to get you not to move into your magnificence. That's really what the ego is working on. It knows that as humanity moves into its authentic self, it's going to become eventually extinct or so slight in the human experience that we easily feel what's in our highest good. We can feel a connection to the universe. But what the universe might do is like, that could be fun. But if you know yourself and you can really feel your inner joy and your happiness, you're going to raise your vibration. You're going to give yourself time before you make a decision and go, yeah, that feels okay, but not great. I'm going to give myself some more time before I choose anything. Ooh, that feels a little bit better. Ooh, I'm going to give myself some more time before I choose. Ooh, that even feels a little bit better. And when you get to the place where you can experience the highest form of consciousness in whatever you're choosing, is going to feel amazing to you. The universe will always be kind and loving and supportive to you in whatever you choose, but you want to wait. Give yourself some time to try on different potential solutions until you get to the one that goes, and then choose that one. Choose that one. So please don't wait for the universe to say, don't do that, because they won't. And if you hear that, that's your ego. And please spend more time getting to know yourself and feeling your vibration and understanding what joy means to you and doing inner work, having fun with your inner secrets, your inner magic, your inner genius, so that you can keep raising your vibration and identify things that are truly in your highest good, your highest good. And take note of the things in your life that are not vibrating at high frequency, because when you chose those, you were in a different frequency and a different vibration, and you weren't giving yourself options. You just maybe in a haste chose something out of fear, not out of joy. So this is a dance of perfection, and perfection really looks like an old growth forest where there's just massive flow. Nurseries have popped up everywhere, and ferns are growing at the top of trees, and moss blankets the pathways. That's truly what real perfection means. It means flow, flowing to the next choice, the next option, the next reality for you that you wish to manifest here in this physical realm. Doing that successfully means that you listen to yourself, you believe in yourself, you choose joy often, every day, for even moments, so that your vibration can be elevated, so you can recognize that you have many other solutions. There isn't just an okay solution and a less okay solution. There are so many options. Know yourself, hang out with yourself, because the universe will not scream and yell at you when you're choosing something that perhaps wouldn't be the funnest way to grow on planet Earth. I hope that's helpful. Okay, we're going to go to the phone lines. And these are recorded voice messages that people have left on my website. You get a free self-hypnosis meditation if you leave a voicemail. I recommend to do the self-hypnosis for 30 days, every day for 30 days, so that it really gets into your subconscious. And I'm going to give my psychic intuitive impression for these questions, but just know that if I haven't gotten to your question yet, if you've left one, I'm getting there, and that other people's questions can give you insight to your life as well. We have a lot of similar things about ourselves related to this human reality. So listen up. It might make sense. You might like it, or you just might enjoy what we share.
Hi, Marie. My name is Edon. I have a question, basically an experience I've had several times in my life where I feel like my soul has kind of popped out of my body, or that my body couldn't hold my soul anymore, and I was aware of myself as a soul, pure volition, pure consciousness, much larger than my body. And yet I couldn't fully let go into that consciousness because I was so unused to it. And it seemed like it was requiring me to just be free, give up all attachments. And there was an elevation change. I felt a lot higher than I normally would in my body. And this has happened several times. I've kind of put myself back in my body, but it's led me to be uncomfortable. And I feel like I've kind of made the wrong decision because I resisted something, but I couldn't fully let go into it. So I just guess I would like to know, what does someone do, or what can someone do to feel more at home in their body when they've seen the non-dual nature, or the bigger nature? Like, I'm wondering if I made a mistake, and I'm wondering if you might be able to speak about that. Or have any idea. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to continue watching your YouTube podcast. Thank you so much.
What a great question. And it sounds like you connected to your higher self. You don't even have to come back. So I just had this memory when I first started to really read as adult spirituality, because I was blessed to read about spirituality when I was young. My mother filled our house with books on spirituality. But when I was older, in my 20s, older, I was pregnant with my first child, and something had happened within the small family I was creating. And I needed to learn how to manifest really quickly. Uh, Somebody had gotten in some serious trouble and was probably going to go to prison. And I decided I wanted to manifest that not happening within, good reason. Like, I wouldn't, if someone really commits some terrible criminal activity, then yes, they have to go to prison, right? And so I started reading one of my favorite books, Super Beings by John Randolph Price. And I would have such incredible experiences. I still read this book today. I've read it from cover to cover. It's not very big. I can't tell you how many times. And every time I read it, it still feels like I've just read it for the first time. It's that transformative for me. And I was reading it, and I was having these experiences where I felt like I was levitating out of my body, that I was in this place of pure bliss and pure amazingness. And I was scared, because I thought, ooh, if I want to continue in this expansion, then I'm probably going to have to leave my family and go to Tibet and live in some monastery. That's what I thought. And I could hear the universe tell me multiple times, because I had that feeling multiple times that I was pregnant, I was going to have a kid, couldn't really go live in Tibet. And the universe said to me, the vibration of the earth is so powerful now. You can have extraordinary psychic, intuitive, mystical, high vibrational experiences while you're sitting on a toilet anywhere in the world. So what's happening for you, Idon, if I'm saying your name correctly, is that you keep pulling yourself back. I don't recommend that. You can live in the world and be aware and have your consciousness elevated, more elevated than the majority of the human population. I think Eckhart Tolle is a perfect example of this. He sat on a park bench, I don't know for how long, that's part of his story. And he changed significantly. He had a very different experience than the majority of humanity. So you can have different experiences than other people on the planet, and you won't leave. If you were supposed to leave, it would have happened already. You're obviously supposed to embody these experiences in your physical form and learn how to be in a physical form where you're having multiple different observations of this reality and beyond. I think that's what you're supposed to do, is let it rip, let it happen. It doesn't feel comfortable when you let go and go back into your physical form. That's one of the reasons why, and it doesn't mean that you're leaving your physical form, but there's a part of your consciousness that's connecting to your higher self, which is really a blessing and a gift and a joy. And one of the reasons why I preach, at least it feels like it to me that it's a form of preaching about joy, because the experiences I have at work are so profound and amazing and exquisite for me that my guide set me down one day because I would feel different when I wasn't working. And I would go on vacation and I wouldn't have as much fun because I craved laying my hands on someone so I could get my vibration elevated. And they said to me, you need to incorporate this into your personal life. And so one of the ways that I get to do that, because I don't want to read psychically in my personal life all the time. And, I don't want to work in my personal life. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I still want my vibration to be elevated and to have observations that are keen and interesting and fun and different than the rest of the human race. So I focus on joy in my personal life. I focus on color, light. I think I've said this before, but behind my camera that you guys can't see, so it's in front of me, are two beautiful paintings of herons, which are one of my favorite birds. I love birds for some reason. And I look at them while I'm teaching because it helps me raise my vibration. So when I'm not working, I focus on everything that brings me joy. I purposely do things that bring me joy. I practice the vibration of joy because work brings me so much joy, but it's not healthy to work all the time. So what I'm trying to say to you is you need to incorporate this into your regular life. It's not an on and off switch. It's an on switch. And your job is to allow yourself to facilitate this experience in your normal everyday life. And how exciting for you. I'm very happy for you. And perhaps as you change your consciousness about this or your perception, it will just effortlessly flow into all the time, anywhere, constantly. You're not going to leave your body. Otherwise, that would have happened already. Okay, I hope that's helpful.
Hello, Marie. My name is Eva. Thank you for being here for all of us. Your guidance and emotional support is priceless. The question I have, it's hard for me to formulate. I guess I'm asking for the insight how to look at the situation that seems problematic to me. It's about the relationship. I've been married for over 20 years. I love my husband dearly, and he's a very good, devoted, and caring husband and father. Um, he's a good person in all. The only thing that's missing in our relationship is some passion and romance. And I am very passionate. I love romance. In fact, I write about romance. We talked about this several times, but didn't find a solution that would work for us, or maybe it worked for a short period of time, and then it went back to what it always was. I would never want to jeopardize my family unit or sound ungrateful because my life overall is fantastic, but I feel like year after year a little piece of me is wilting. So my question is, how can I look at this differently, more positively, as you always say? I don't want to just a piece of pie. I want it all in life. And And I am a very spiritual person. I don't understand why am I craving physicality so much. Thank you so much for your guidance on it, Marie, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
What a great question. I'm so glad your partner shows up in the way that it is important to you regarding the family, but you're not a great match. And passion is critical, it's important. People want to be touched and cared for. Here's what I think is the problem: he's kind of shut down energetically, emotionally. And so he can't feel you, he can't feel himself very well. This is something he needs to heal within himself, and he may or may not do it. And if things don't change, you will eventually leave this partnership. In my opinion, you have free will, you get to do whatever you want. But that's what I'm seeing, because passion is critical. I've talked to so many people who are in relationships but don't have passion. And I always say, why? Why are you in that relationship? And I know why you've been. You have so many good other things good that are going on. But the interesting part about this is you've talked to him and he, in a way, doesn't care what you have to say. He isn't concerned about this lack that exists in the relationship. Probably because he's somewhat numb, so he doesn't feel his own passion and his own inspiration. The other part is, honestly, he just doesn't care that this is a problem for you. Because if roles were reversed, because you really care, you're equally, if not more so, devoted to this partnership. And you love and adore and cherish him and the family and everything. You're not loving and adoring yourself to the level that you need to, because I think, and of course you get to do whatever you want, that you should set some hefty boundaries, that this is not okay. It's not acceptable, that he needs to figure out why he's shut down, why he doesn't feel passionately, why he can't sense how much you crave this and how critical it is to you, because you've explained it to him, but he can't feel this because he's emotionally shut down. It's almost like being a little bit like a robot. He does all the right things. He's polite, he's kind, but he's shut down vibrationally, emotionally, sexually speaking. It's normal to run Kundalini energy in the body, and it's a passionate energy, and you run it beautifully. And so it's going to feel lonely and sad when you don't have reciprocation, whatever that word is, in your personal life. So a couple options. One, you need to set hefty boundaries. If this is his issue, he needs to fix it. And he will either do it or not. And then you have to decide perhaps not to be in this relationship. You could also, if he's open to it, since you don't want to end this relationship, you could ask him if you can have an open partnership. I know he's not going to agree to it. I know that you probably won't feel comfortable to it, but that's another option where you get to have passion in your life, because he refuses to participate in this. He literally refuses. I literally see a door that looks like a vault door to a bank. That's how hard he shuts it, how hard he locks it, and how difficult it is to penetrate it. And I can't even imagine how frustrating and heartbreaking this is for you. I feel like you're starting to not ignore your own feelings because you didn't understand why this wasn't happening before. And I think you blamed yourself, when this is his issue, his problem. I don't think it's personal. I think he would be in this place no matter whom was in his life, but he has shut down emotionally. He can't feel, so he can't easily be aroused or feel passion. He doesn't really understand romance. I'm very romantic myself. I love romance. I think it's really cool. So these are your options. You get to do whatever you want. Of course, free will is the strongest law in all of the universes, meaning that the universe respects each person's decision and honors it and admires it and works to the best of their ability to help them to grow and change, regardless of what choice they make. Yeah. So you deserve it all. He has a lot of inner work to do to be able to be in this place for you. So I don't think I'm giving you what you really want, because you've already done everything you could to reevaluate this in different ways. And now it's just realizing that this is something within himself where there's a deep wound, and he's afraid to be really intimate, emotionally, spiritually, sexually with another human being. I wish you luck.
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm from San Francisco, and my question for Marie is, how do I overcome this overwhelming grief I've been feeling this week? For context, I just got back from a meditation retreat, and I'm not sure if it helped me get more into my body and my heart. Perhaps I've been disassociated for a while and just keeping busy. And this is, I guess, the first period where I took a break from work, and I've just been really feeling myself without distractions. And yeah, I'm just really feeling directionlessness and overwhelm. 2023 has been a hard year. I was laid off and unemployed for 9 months. My father has a very aggressive form of dementia and Parkinson's. So just touching on the grief there, and found out that my partner of 2 years had been cheating on me with 20 different people. So feeling, I guess, the loss of that relationship, and sounds silly, but my 5-year plan that came along with it. And yeah, I'm in a temporary living situation and also a temporary job situation, and just kind of feeling a bit stuck, like not really sure how to get out of this hole that I'm feeling.
Okay, Grace. So I actually think that you're not really feeling your authentic emotions. Grief, the real vibration of grief is incredibly delicious. I mean, it's a very profound, amazing opportunity when humans allow themselves to get into grief. Sure, there's going to be a human aspect of the sorrowness, but it's just so incredibly freeing. When people enter real grief, the universe starts to throw in things from even past lives for someone to, emote about. And so a lot of people, when they're in authentic grief, don't even know what they're in grief about. Even if there's a logical reason, it doesn't feel like they're grieving that logical reason. I think you have a strong history of victim consciousness, and that can feel depressive and have that stifling kind of energy. I honestly think you're actually free for the first time in a long time in your life. I think it was good you were laid off. I think it's great you're living in temporary housing. I think it's lovely that you figured out what your boyfriend was doing. Your father's getting ready to cross to the other side. I think what you are authentically feeling is freedom. But most people have no idea what they're feeling because they allow their brain to tell them what they're feeling. So people will create mind-made emotions, which are not authentic, but this is what the majority of the population experiences all day long, is mind-made emotions. And then they run their energy based on that mind-made emotion. And then they're convinced that's what they're feeling. But I think you feel free. And the way to have a conscious awareness of your emotional system is to start to rest in the lower half of your body, like your feet. And when I say that, I mean like feel your feet, wiggle your toes, And don't listen to your brain. Don't believe what it says, even though it seems incredibly logical for you to be sad right now or in deep grief because of all of the loss that you've had. I don't see that for you at all. When I work with a client, one of the first things I do when I stare at their picture, if we happen to be on video, which the majority of my sessions are, one of the things I'm immediately doing is assessing their authentic emotional system, because they're going to tell me what they think they're feeling. And 99.9% of the time, people don't know what they're really feeling. They have no idea. And I really can't help them in the way that I could if I don't know what they're authentically feeling, because that's part of their natural guidance system. So that's the first thing I do. Even as they're talking to me and sharing information, I'm focusing on their authentic emotional body, and then I relate those experiences to them. I actually take them through an exercise so that they can begin to feel their emotional response system. And because I know what they're feeling, I can test them on their ability to get into their emotions or not. So I think you're feeling free. Please rest in the lower half of your body and recognize that all these other things that you're feeling are not authentic. They're from your mind and from a strong pattern of victim consciousness. And that if you can get to a different experience that has some sort of resemblance to the word free, then you're in your authenticity. And when we make decisions, we need to make them on a place of authentic emotions, choosing partners, careers, living situations, not from the mind. And especially when you run victim consciousness, you're going to choose things that are going to make you more victimized. So that's your homework assignment for you. You're not stuck. You feel free. Just get curious about it. Like, what if I do feel free? What if I'm not feeling my authentic emotions? The human mind makes us think that our feelings go up and down all day long. That's not true. Real emotions last 7 to 10 days. They're very consistent, even authentic feelings of sadness and authentic feelings of anger. But there's an observational quality. It's not so heavy and stuck like it is when someone's perceiving an emotion from their mind that was created, was made up from their brain. Real emotions have a calm, interesting, surprising, compassionate presence, just like intuition. I hope that's helpful. And I'm curious to see how it works out. All right.
Hi, Marie. My name is Michaela. I am from Michigan. I was calling to receive a little bit of guidance on my love life. I feel like I'm ready to meet somebody, and I know that nowadays, like a lot of people go on dating apps, but I always kind of just imagined meeting my partner out and about serendipitously in the world. But so I'm not really sure like if I should just follow my bliss and eventually I'll run into them, or if maybe I should go on a dating app to prime something to happen. Can you give me a little bit of guidance on this and maybe just a little bit of information on my future soulmate? I'm just really curious and excited about it. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy you're excited about it, and stop trying to analyze this with your brain. Go on a couple of dating apps if you want to. Bumble is kind of a cool one because, people who choose to be female kind of run the show, so to speak. It's kind of interesting. So here's what I think. I know you're excited about it, but I really want you to work on self-love. I think that's going to bring you your partner at the perfect moment in the perfect way. I want you to play and have fun with this. I don't want you to be strategic. I don't want you to try to plan this out. I don't want you to say no to anything unless you don't feel joy related to it. But I really want you to work on self-love, because that's how you're going to meet a fabulous person who's in your best interest, is through deeply diving into your own personal love. People can only love us to the level that we love ourselves. And so sometimes when we're, ready for a partnership, or our mind thinks we're ready, and I'm not saying you're not ready, I just would love to feel more love for yourself versus this love you have for this person you haven't met yet. I want you to love yourself more. So in this desire to be in partnership, loving yourself will create that upgrade so that you will attract someone who will happily love you. So I'm not saying this correctly as well as I would like to. If you love yourself, you're going to attract someone who's thrilled to give, who's generous to you, who's wonderful for you, because you're going to let them do it. When we don't love ourselves very well and we have these desires to be adored and cherished, all things that everyone should feel in all of their relationships, by the way, romantic or otherwise, it's normal to feel loved, adored, and cherished. If you aren't receptive, if you don't believe you're worthy or deserving, and I mean from a feeling perspective, not from a mental perspective, then you won't attract someone who will be able to affect you in that way. So that's what I want you to work out on, and everything will fall into place, but don't get logical about it. If a dating app looks like fun, go, oh, that looks like fun, and try it. But yes, be careful. It's important. Back in the day when I was single, we met in bars. Well, actually, I got married when I was 20, so I wasn't allowed in a bar. But we met at underage discos, complete strangers that we had never met before. When you're online dating, if people are honest, they're sharing, more information. So have fun with this, follow the joy, but spend more time loving you. Okay.
Hi, Maria. It's my first time here. I just discovered you a couple days ago, and it's really refreshing to hear your podcasts and see your videos. I'm also a nurse. Uh, I'm gonna be 60 in the spring, and like I said, I'm a nurse, and I've studied Reiki in the past. And at this time in my life, it's kind of odd that it feels weird, like everybody's sort of falling out of the way, and I have a lot of time to myself, and I'm not used to that. Um, so I'm wondering if my spirit guides or universe can has something to say about this time in my life. Maybe there's something special I can look into to sort of revitalize myself. And also, I'm concerned about I get dizzy when I get out of the car and like walk into a store, and like by the time I get in the store, I feel like my head's spinning. I'm ready to be pulled to the ground, and I'm not sure what that's from. And I'm not going to have insurance now, so I'd like some advice from the spirit world there. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Carrie. So you're having some vertigo, and I would have your hormones checked. So you're going to have to pay out of pocket, right? And have your hormones checked. And if you aren't taking compounded hormones, if you can, if it's not a counter indicator for you, I would highly consider it. Or at least taking herbs that support hormones. And I'm not a doctor. I don't have my nursing license any longer. So you will need to seek out, professional medical advice about this. But this is hormonally related. Our hormones change all the time, and unless we don't have our ovaries, they will continue to change no matter what our chronological age is. And this time is for you to have fun and figure out what makes you happy, what works for you, what brings you joy. You need to go figure out how to play. That's really what the universe wants you to do, is to go figure out how you can play, what activities bring you pleasure, because you kind of don't know that. You've just been kind of hanging around a sort of low vibrational group of people. Luckily, they faded away, and it's time for you to self-explore. This is a wonderful time in your life. Pretend that you're 20 and you don't know what's coming around the bend, and you could make all kinds of interesting choices for your future and go play. Maybe take up pickleball, learn chess, join a book club, join the Mountaineers. I don't know if that's just a Washington State thing, where you go hiking with complete strangers through an organization. Get out there, start making new people. And of course, what I highly recommend all the time is to fall in love with you. And that is something you have not explored. You have not explored self-love and self-worth. And it's critical to adore and cherish yourself as much as possible. I hope that's helpful.
Hello, Marie. My name is Kellen, and I am from Quebec City. I normally speak French, so I'm gonna try my best. I think I've met my twin flame, but now I'm searching for my soulmate. I don't know if he exists, but I really like. I think I feel him somehow or some way. I don't know, but maybe we will find each other when we will be on our highest good, when I will be doing what I love, which is, I think, is dancing. I love dancing, but I'm scared not to be good enough. Um, so yeah, if you could help me a little bit with that, or if not, maybe just an energy reading, maybe. Anyways, thank you so much for everything you do. I really appreciate it, and I love you, Marie.
Oh,
Thank you.
I love you too, Kellen. That's very sweet of you. I love all of you, by the way. I love everyone. I'm in love with the human race deeply. So I don't think there's just a soulmate. I just don't believe in that concept. There's 8 billion human souls on earth. I believe that there are many people that we could have successful partnerships with. And I don't mean like millions of them potentially, but there are many people that individuals can have successful relationships with, friendships, partnerships, business relationships. So I think it's important to get out of that concept that there's just this one person out there in the middle of who knows where, and that we have to come together, or you don't get to have this incredible, fun, unique union. I prefer to think of in terms of a healthy partnership, which is supposed to be fun and playful and spontaneous and passionate. Amazing, amazing. I like to think of that union an earthmate, because you want to be with someone that you can have a successful, fun, fulfilling relationship here on earth. You know, even though we are of light, we live in a physical reality. So number one, hopefully that will help you to be in a different space, that it's not just one person or two or three, that there's, you know, many people that we could have profound, successful, wonderful connections with. And what holds us back really is our own self-love and a self-appreciation. I know I sound like a broken record when I talk about self-love. And believe me, when I heard the universe said it's the answer to everything, I was sincerely annoyed by that, because it's kind of the more challenging part of the human existence is falling madly in love with oneself. But when it comes to creating a relationship or anything in life, when you're manifesting, you want to feel that what you want has already happened. And so perhaps you've had some hints of certain things that you would just love to have in your life about partnership that you can allow yourself to feel as if it's already happened. Here's an example, but it's not a partnership example, but it's the same concept. About 15 years ago or so, I wanted to have a different home, and a newer home perhaps. And there was one thing that I focused on all the time because it brought me so much joy, which is really thick white trim. I know it sounds silly. It doesn't sound important. I also wanted to have 2 rooms on the main floor that could be offices, because I've had assistants working in my house for decades. And it's really nice to have that space so that I have privacy for the work I do, and my assistants have their own privacy as well. Of course, now everybody who works for me works virtually, so that's kind of funny. But I focused on the joy of wide trim. And of course, the house I bought has wide trim. In fact, I just had trim replaced. It's even wider, so it's obviously important to me. Kind of silly. So you need to identify the really cool things. Do you love sitting at dinner and laughing your head off with someone? Do you love walking down the beach, holding hands with someone? Maybe focus on maybe hand holding, cool conversations, as if they've they're happening now, and you are in this valuable, significant, incredibly delicious, powerful union for both of you. That's what I want you to do every day for several minutes and get excited. I like to get my pets involved in what I'm manifesting, because especially dogs, but even the cats, if you talk to them about this in an exciting way, an authentic, exciting way, they get excited too. And their energy can be very helpful. Even children love to manifest. They're much better at manifesting than most adults, but we're all meant to be great at manifesting. This is one of the reasons collectively humanity comes to Earth. So think about the things. Not that the person has to be honest. Don't get into these serious things. Of course, a perfect partner for you will be honest and have great values and have integrity and share appropriately and all of those things that are really important, that are like have to be there in order to have a successful union. You need a connection where the sharing and the authenticity is so pure and powerful. Focus on the fun parts, whatever works for you. Traveling, cuddling on a Sunday together, making breakfast together, whatever it is, pick a couple of those things that really are significant for you, like white trim is for me in a house. Don't ask me why. I mean, thick, white trim, tall. And focus on those every day as if it's already happened. Not what the person looks like, not where they live. And you spoke beautiful English, by the way. That's what I want you to do. That will draw that person to you. It will just have to be fulfilled in the universe. And also work on loving yourself. Of course, you're perfect. You're perfect. Have a great day.
Hi, Marie. This is Kathy. I've been on a spiritual trek for almost 20 years now, and I've come to a wonderful place. I do talk to my spirit guides and higher self, and I was wondering if you feel the same things I've been receiving this year, because they're really weird. I was told this was a year of rest, quite different from my ingrained goal-oriented self. I did give up most of my responsibilities, and no one really even noticed. Is this really what I was meant to do? And my almost 67-year-old body suddenly started feeling its age last year. All at once, I felt fatter, stiffer, less coordinated, less energetic. And I've had symptoms that I was told by my guides were temporary as a result of the incoming energy to Earth that is changing our bodies and our DNA. Have you heard of that? I've had gallbladder pain and then strong achiness that did both disappear after a number of months. And I still have a knee that becomes painful after about 12 minutes of walking. The guides say this is also temporary, but do I need to do something about it? And is there anything else about my health that I need to be aware of? Thanks so much for sharing your gifts with us.
Well, first of all, I think you're really healthy overall. Seriously, really healthy. Of course, I recommend checkups. Let doctors or practitioners, naturopaths look at your body and your labs. I think that's important. But you need hormones. I'm not kidding. Hormones continue to drop, and they need to be compounded, assessed by an allopathic or naturopathic physician. That's what I highly recommend for your body. That's why you feel tired, and even joint pain is related to hormone levels. I am a fan of a certain supplement, but as I say this, everyone needs to check with their practitioner. People take pharmacology, and herbs and vitamins are powerful, and they can affect all kinds of medicine. And plus we can have counter indicators. And I don't know everyone's health needs or what they're taking. So just know, whenever I mention an herb or a vitamin, please check with your practitioners. It's critically important, because some things we should not be putting in our body. No matter how natural they may seem, they could still have potentially negative effects. But serapeptase is this really cool digestive enzyme that works great against pain, especially joint pain. It's also great for cardiac function. The dosage that's recommended is 120,000 units once a day on an empty stomach. But again, ask a healthcare practitioner, a licensed healthcare practitioner. Rest is incredibly necessary for spiritual growth. Psychics, professional intuitives, we rest. We take time out, we take naps, we rest, we walk. Some people say they meditate, but I think rest is a form of meditation. Being present is a form of meditation. So I think you're on a form of rest. Energy and RNA and DNA is always being affected. This is not new. It's been happening for a long time. The earth is at a very, very high vibration. But I think the universe is trying to get you to not be busy, but learn inner doing, inner wonder, inner exploration, to really work on your psychic ability, your awareness, your multisensory. Because even though you've been studying this for a long time, it hasn't really practically worked out for you in terms of a tool that you use it at the level that you have the capacity to use it. And of course, you can disagree with me about anything, but that's what the universe wants you to upgrade, is your understanding of your multisensory abilities and to utilize them in the world in a way that it profoundly affects you and potentially others. So rest is highly recommended, but I think you're healthy. And I would consider, if it's not counterindicated, for you to take compounded hormones, because some people can't take compounded hormones either. Certain diseases are not recommended. If people have had them, even if they don't have them currently, it's not recommended to take them. I hope that's helpful. And this is an exciting time for you. I'm glad you decided to listen to your intuition and rest. That was very smart of you.
Hi, Marie. This is Lori. I live in Southern California, and I have a mediumship question. My dad passed a little under 2 years ago, and it was beautiful. I was holding his hand, and my daughter was holding his hand as he passed, and I've never shed a tear. I just know he's happy. But my mom, my not so nice brother, and my brother's son, Brett, and my two daughters, Megan and Devin, are still having a tough time of it. I don't need any message. I know he's wonderful, but I'm wondering if you could give them a message from him to help them have a new good year. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Lori, you are too kind, constantly thinking about others. So I'm going to give you my old soul spill. Old souls, which you are of, that's why you feel contentment and you can relax about his passing, because you're able to understand how life really works. Life here, life after here, and it brings you peace. But you overgive, you overnurture a lot of people, and this is not helping you in your own evolutionary process. And your father blames himself for teaching you so deeply acts of service. He's also funny. Your dad has a good sense of humor, and maybe that's what they miss. So he says that everybody who's missing him, and of course you can participate in this, needs to go get some corny joke books. Not mean ones, not unkind, not sarcastic. He's not recommending that, but cute, corny joke books, and start sharing jokes with each other. He said that's going to lighten their spirit and raise their vibration and help them to experience him, because you can experience him on a level that gives you comfort, and they can't because they've lowered their vibration. Not just about this topic, they already have their energy low. But the joke books will be very helpful, and then they're going to start to feel him, and then their tears will be happier and more joyful. And your job is to stop overgiving and nurturing other people so significantly. Please focus on yourself. Your job is not to save everyone on the planet. Your job is to find self-compassion and allow all of your natural gifts and talents to be present in this lifetime to the best of your ability, and start having enormous, incredible fun that is not related to anyone else. That's what they want. And your dad is kissing you all over your face, and somebody must be having a birthday. And I know that sounds very general because you mentioned several people. It could be you. But I see a 2-tiered chocolate cake, which I'm always shocked when it's not chocolate. So I haven't seen a chocolate one in a while. Usually when I'm seeing a birthday cake, the birthday was either 6 weeks before the person arrived in terms of a medium conversation, or 6 weeks after. So it's like a 12-week window, 6 weeks before this reading, 6 weeks after. I'm recording this on March 13th, 2004. But it's a 2-tiered chocolate cake, and it's like the best chocolate. It's not too sweet. It's kind of a devil's food, but not too heavy. It's really delicious. Like, I want to eat it. And I don't eat a lot of added sugar. And then it has beautiful icing on it. It's not whipped cream, but it's not too sweet like regular icing. So it's kind of like whipped cream. He puts these, I wish I knew what these, I don't eat a lot of candy, so I don't know what they are, but they're like hot red circle kind of flat candies. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about but me. And he puts these on the side of the cake, on each layer, all around it. It's really, and I know what they taste like. I've had them before, but I don't know what they're called. And then he puts one big, gorgeous strawberry with the top on it, on top of the cake. And then just a couple candles, not to share anyone's age. But whoever birthday this is, and I hope it's yours, he says, happy birthday. He loves everyone. He's grateful for his family. He says now that he's on the other side, people share stories about their family. And a lot of people are waking up about their families. Like some people think their families are wonderful, and then they get on the other side and go, oh my gosh. I mean, my mother's going to have a very interesting awakening when she crosses over about who she thinks is amazing in the family. Yeah, so that's what your dad says. And he's funny. He's very, very funny. But turn your compassion towards yourself. That's why you incarnated in this lifetime. Okay, I'm going to take one more before I end our podcast.
Hi, I'm happy to talk to you. I'm Nabila, living now in Germany. The question that I want to ask, I think I have two. The first one is I want to have a general reading about my energy. And the second one is it's been, though in the last years, I feel I'm stuck, and I listen to your podcast, and that I know you say like there is no stuck energy and you don't feel stuck, it's just part of your path. But to be honest, I feel like things are moving so hard for me, like simple things are taking so much time. And lately I'm starting to get angry because I feel I have really I have a huge potential inside me, but there is nothing outside. So I don't know how to express that, and that starts to make me frustrated. And when I get frustrated, like my head, the top of my head, it starts to hurt. And that place that hurt most of the time, not always, but like when I have like discomfort, it's there. So I would like to know how to really take those potential out, because I don't know. Yeah, plus a general reading about me, and yeah, I wish you a nice day, morning, evening, like depending on where you do the recording and when you hear that voice message. And yeah, bye.
Okay, interesting question, Nabila, if I said your name correctly. Anger is actually a higher vibration than a lot of other emotions. So it's not a bad frequency. It's probably helping you to get your energy up so that you can have the movement that you need. But one of the reasons why things aren't manifesting the way you want to is because you have a significant leak of energy throughout your spine. So there are 5 chakras that line the spine, 2 through 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. And you have a leak in all 5 of them, which can make you tired, worn out, and everything requires energy. If we want things to change in our life, we have to have a lot of energy. We have to be receptive. Leaking large amounts of energy from your back doesn't allow you to be receptive, and then you don't have the motivation to get things done, or things are not flowing in the way that you want to. So part of this leak is because you don't stay in your own will. You give your will away to others. You listen to other people. You believe them more than yourself. And these are my impressions. You don't have to agree with anything that I say. The whole spine, from the C1, the top of the neck, to the tip of the coccyx, is about one's will. And what we're supposed to do is get out of the way and align to the will of the divine. And you tend to think negatively. You have most of your life. So I've already stopped the leak. It wasn't like my intention. You're probably a really good student and you don't like to make mistakes, because that leak has stopped. Yay, that's excellent. Now we want to keep it that way as well. We don't want the leak to come back. And so that means you need to listen to yourself. And align to the will of the divine, not the will of others. Don't listen to what other people say. Don't listen to what people think you should be doing. What do you want to do? What's going to make you happy? What's going to bring you joy? What's going to make you feel fulfilled? You don't have to know the answer to those questions, but I want you to wait until you feel individually inspired by those answers. And in the meantime, to raise your vibration and keep this receptive energy that you moved into so quickly, you're going to have to find things that make you happy. That's how I want you to spend your time, rather than waiting for something to change. Because when you're waiting for something to change, you're actually pushing it away. That's what happens. People have to feel what they want as if it's already here, even if they don't know what it is. So find things that bring you joy and listen to yourself. You actually are the authority of your own life. And it's okay to be angry. Throw some pillows, scream at the moon. That's a higher energy than feeling stuck or depressed or lost or nothing's going to move forward. Anger is a higher frequency, the authentic vibration of angry, not which you have, not the abusive form of angry. That's a low vibration. And you can yell at creation all you want. They don't care. They like it. They know that people are raising their vibration when they're annoyed and frustrated. So that's what I have to say. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Happy spring. It's almost here, not quite, but almost here. And thank you everyone for listening to the podcast and for leaving your voicemails. I'm honored. And it brings me great joy to give you my perceptions and to share energy with all of you around the world. It brings us closer together and makes us a unique, interesting, and happy family. And I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Bye-bye.